Cucurella and give me that.
Dani Carvajal in the right to approach Lamine Yamal post-match to confront him about talking too much about Real Madrid. Jules, what do you think?
Barcelona had its worst night of the season at Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea thrashed Hansi Flick's team 3-0. Ronald Araujo's sending off, after receiving a second yellow card that was seen as unnecessary and hard to justify, left the team in a critical spot during a decisive Champions League clash. And beyond the worrying performance on the field, another major issue is gaining strength within the club. Lamine Yamal, the 18-year-old, still recovering from a persistent pubalgia that kept him out for 5 matches, was far from his best in London. Although Barcelona has been following a specific recovery plan for him, a new trend has set off alarm bells. According to Sport, Lamine Yamal is quickly becoming public enemy number 1 in several stadiums he visits, something that deeply concerns the board. His off-field behavior and frequent pre-match provocations have helped neither the team nor the player himself, and the club fears this could affect both his performance and his long-term image. Lamine was relentlessly targeted by Chelsea fans with hostile chants, similar to what happened recently at Club Brugge, and a Chelsea player even criticised him after the match. The most notorious episode of this growing tension came during El Clasico at the Santiago Bernabeu, which ended in scenes that looked more like MMA or boxing. Vini, Mbappe, Carvajal, and several Real Madrid players were furious with Lamine's comments and wanted to settle things with him physically after winning 2-1. Dani Carvajal and Thibaut Courtois reportedly confronted the young player aggressively. According to the report, Barcelona is worried about this shift in his public image. After all, Lamine Yamal is not just another player, he is the face of the club. Since inheriting the iconic number 10 shirt, he has become the team's undisputed commercial leader, breaking merchandise sales records and generating massive revenue streams. To get a sense of his global popularity, in 2025 Lamine Yamal reached a historic milestone, becoming the player with the most sold jersey in the world, surpassing names like Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Mbappe, and Vinicius Jr. Global merchandising platforms reported 1,015,000 shirts sold for the 18-year-old phenomenon. Alongside his brilliance for Barcelona and the Spanish national team, Lamine Yamal has established himself as the main face of football's new generation, driven by exceptional talent, charisma, and enormous future potential. However, some of that prestige could be at risk unless he adjusts certain aspects of his behavior. It's no secret that Neymar is his biggest idol, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Lamine doesn't need to imitate Neymar's off-field behavior, he only needs to follow in his footsteps on the pitch. Another figure who could guide him is Lionel Messi, the ultimate example of professionalism and discretion away from the game. Combining Neymar's flair and boldness on the field with Messi's calm, focused demeanor off it would be the ideal formula. At the level Yamal has already reached, there is no need to seek attention through controversy. Even if he avoids it entirely, he will continue to be a major topic in world football. How? By doing what he does best, dazzling with his dribbles, assists, goals, and artistic football. That's how his name will be remembered, just like Messi's, the greatest example of silent greatness the sport has ever seen. You could argue that he can also take inspiration from Cristiano Ronaldo, and he definitely can. Ronaldo's extreme professionalism and exemplary physical care, which allowed him to stay at the top level until age 40 and possibly beyond, are qualities any young player can admire. However, he should stay away from Ronaldo's more obsessive behavior regarding Messi, making controversial statements in interviews just to attract attention. Unfortunately, his comments mocking Messi's World Cup win were so disappointing that I felt compelled to make a video about it, which, by the way, is linked in the description and in the cards for you to watch after this content. On the other hand, Barcelona's board hopes he embraces Messi's aura in another way: universal admiration. Messi wasn't just feared, he was respected and often even adored by rival fans because of his brilliance on the field. Lamine has the rare opportunity to draw inspiration from 3 of the greatest footballers of all time: Messi, Neymar, and Cristiano Ronaldo. He can absorb the strengths of these 3 global icons and blend them with his own personality to achieve the best possible version of himself on the world stage. In short, be yourself, but take advantage of the strongest qualities of the 3 greatest players of your generation.
I just think it was inevitable. Really, you knew at the end of the game this would happen. It was a very feisty game. There was a lot of tension from the beginning. It was a tight game still. And that you knew at some point, especially if Real Madrid won that game, that they would come after Lamine, whether you agree or not, whether you like it or not. And we discussed it a bit on the show before. Certainly the boys, Macan, everybody discussed it too. Whether you like it or not, for me, this was inevitable, especially after the way Real Madrid won. to see Vinny, to see Carvajal go after Lamine, and Lamine responding, to be fair. And this is what we're going to have for the next 10 years or so.
Sources say Barcelona's board fears Lamine could develop a villain-like reputation, which would subject him to harsher treatment from opponents and hostile crowds, potentially impacting his development and market visibility. While we all support Lamine Yamal in his pursuit of universal glory through his breathtaking football, we must face reality. And that reality tells us he's not following the brightest path toward reaching Messi's ultimate level of greatness. He is not a normal 18-year-old, and he needs to accept that. He must change his provocative pre-match behavior and silence critics and rival fans after the final whistle.
And what you just highlighted, everybody's eye was going to be on Yamal and, Cucurella. And Cucurella is one of those players, you'd rather have him in your team because you don't want to play against him because he can annoy you. But he had a great game against Yamal, I said.
I mean, they surprised me because, as Robbo said, they were a little blunt going forward. It didn't surprise me Chelsea scored for
No,
not at all.
When they come up against the very best teams in Europe, and Chelsea at the moment are a very good team, their defensive strategy is going to be caught out. I mean, even when they're down to 10 and the third goal, the two players on the right-hand side, Garcia was playing at right back and the centre-half, Koundé was playing at centre-half, they just allow the space for the ball to be played in between. There's no recovery runs whatsoever, and Fernandes makes the run, the timing of the pass is good. It's too easy. You cannot defend like that. To be a top-class side, you have to defend well as going forward.
We started good, and with a really big chance from Ferran, we could score the first goal. And at the end, with one player less, it's like that. But I think also we had the intensity we need today. And of course, with the red card, everything changed. So it's not easy against this fantastic team to come back with 10 players, so with one player less. So for me, we have to accept this defeat. But I'm also looking very positive for the next games. And also for the Champions League. I know we have three matches, 3 games, 9 points to win, and I'm really looking positive and think positive about this. We can achieve this. But at the end today we also make some big ball lost. This is I think the key also for today. We were not able also in the offense to keep the ball, but also midfield players normally make this mistake. So, but at the end it's a performance from the team. How I said before, I saw also some really positive things, and the other things we have to work on that. But now we also can see I'm happy that Rafinha is back, Marcos is on this level, so Pedri will come. It's like that, and we have to work hard. This is always like what we want to do, and how I said, look positive. For me, it's the first yellow card. I don't know exactly what happens. I have to speak with him, but also I have to see the videos or the game again, analyze it. At the end, the second foul could happen, but also maybe not go down or tackle, or maybe more guide him is the thing what he can do. But at the end, it happens in football. It was not the right moment, not the right game, but it's like it is. I think we need a little bit more, to play a little bit more aggressive. Aggressivity in our game, it's good, especially in the 1-against-1 situation. When you see Chelsea, they always have it. They play more with the body and more dynamic in the 1-against-1 situation. So this is also what I want from my team. Sometimes we think also we can everything control against the club playing in the Premier League and second on the table. It's not like that. So also we have to fight a little bit more, and also to play more aggressive. For me, really, I can say it again. I think positive for the next match. We will see, but I think really positive.
Look at the high line that Barcelona are playing. But teams kept on getting caught offside and ran too early. Now teams are looking at it and coaches are looking at it and saying, this is easy to break down. We only have to play first-time balls in behind them. Front players, don't make you run until the ball's played. We can hit switches of play and get on the big diagonal. And they're not doing it as well. So I think their philosophy is totally wrong, and teams are finding ways to go past it so easily.
Barcelona fans they just hate it when we don't kiss the backside, don't they? But there's no reason to.
I think even some Barcelona fans are annoyed at their own team right now, though, with what they're seeing.
Well, they should be annoyed at their manager. I mean, he doesn't have to completely change his philosophy, but he has to get the balance correct. And why are you fiving? He was your captain as well, I think, Arojo. Why are you fiving him when he's coming off after making two stupid decisions like that? I mean, he's right on the back of the referee for his first booking. He's got his nose in the back of the referee's head. The referee turns round, he's there. You can't encroach like that. And then once you've done that, you know, it's just a stupid challenge. So Hansi Flick's going to have to figure it out.
Alan Shearer, former Newcastle striker and Premier League icon, sharply criticised Barcelona for using such a high defensive line in their 3-0 loss to Chelsea. He blasted Hansi Flick for being too stubborn with that overly aggressive high line. They keep getting caught out, over and over again. Chelsea deserve every bit of this. Once again, they've timed it perfectly. I've seen my share of offside traps in my life, but this one is absolutely insane, honestly. It's like there are 4 mannequins just standing there asking, how do you guys want to do this? Sometimes it's hard to believe. I'm speechless at how easily Chelsea have been able to break through and at how insane Barcelona's approach has been at times. Yes, you heard that right. He called Barcelona's defensive unit a set of static mannequins asking each other, how do you guys want to do this? But in the end, their success rate is 35% below what Flick expects, and the remaining 65% turns into goal-scoring opportunities for Chelsea. A situation Shearer sees as madness, a stubborn coach who refuses to take advice from anyone. Barcelona's defensive problems this season have largely been attributed to the departure of Íñigo Martínez over the summer. According to Sport, Flick was unhappy with Íñigo Martínez's exit, even though he won't admit it publicly. The centre-back, who left for Al Nassr, had been a defensive leader and a key piece for Barcelona last season, especially because of his tactical intelligence and ability on the ball. Without Íñigo, Barcelona is missing a reliable defensive presence. Pau Kubasi, only 18, has taken on the responsibility, while Eric Garcia has been used in multiple roles, preventing stability at the back. Kubasi defended poorly, and Esteban's goal is proof of that, although nearly everyone performed below expectations. For this reason, the club views signing a new centre-back for the summer of 2026 as a priority, with names like Nico Schlotterbeck and Dayot Upamecano among the candidates. I know Nico has been thinking about it a lot, said Borussia Dortmund sporting director Sebastian Kehl when asked about the interest from clubs like Bayern Munich and Barcelona, confirming that Schlotterbeck is seriously considering the ongoing transfer rumours. He's very attached to Borussia, so I'm optimistic. His goal is to succeed and win titles. We'll be financially flexible and do everything we can to keep him in Dortmund. Hansi Flick is a big admirer of Nico Schlotterbeck and would like to have him at Barcelona.
But let's be honest about it. Right? At this moment in time, Real Madrid and Barcelona are not big scalps. They're not. Not playing well enough to be big scalps. I mean, you were at the Elche game. Elche should have won at the weekend. We've seen countless Barcelona games this year with teams rooted...